Unheard of.
What is up, everybody? It's been a while. Not that long. We've been away for 2 weeks. Um, is what it is. Life happens. Especially for me. Scheduling's been a little difficult as of late. Um, but you know, we got your two favorite boys back. It's ABG and myself, Jerod.
Yo,
And before I ask how you been, man, you know, we missed our birthday episodes. So
I know, man.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna celebrate really quickly.
Okay.
It was
Yes,
somebody's
sir.
birthday.
Yearly
Yeah.
Yes,
event.
sir.
BJ Panda birthday
Can't
song.
miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday. I know you're
I
so
know you're so
proud.
proud.
Today is your birthday. We gon' turn out. About to throw a party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the
Out.
cake and we gon' say happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy,
Ooh,
happy birthday. Happy, happy,
happy,
happy
happy, happy
birthday to
birthday.
you. Yeah. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you.
All right.
Oh snap. Happy happy birthday to us. We both
That's
turned
true.
27 over the break. How was your birthday, man?
It was good, man. I was actually on the road for my birthday, so I was working. But I mean, the job itself was fairly easy. Everything went smooth, so couldn't have asked for a better work trip birthday.
Sweet.
And that week I got to go to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History.
Oh,
So yeah, I
in
was in the
DC?
yeah. I was in the Virginia DC area. So I got to go check it out. But I was only there. I could only be inside the museum for like an hour and a half because I got there at like 4,
Oh
and they
yeah.
closed at 5:30. So I had to
Yeah.
kind of run through it. But I mean, I liked it. I like all the museums over there. I wanted to go to the space um museum,
Yeah, that
but
one's probably the best.
it was closed.
Dang. They've got like
Well,
a simulator that's really, really cool because it's one of those fighter jets simulations, but it literally like spins you upside down and you're trying to shoot and it's really fun.
yeah, man. I remember it from when we went with the band uh all
Yeah.
those years ago. Did
I
we was that still there?
I didn't go on that trip.
Oh, you didn't go on that trip. Oh, man, you suck.
Yeah.
Um but um but yeah, it was fun. It was a fairly decent birthday, man. How about you? How was yours?
It was pretty good. Nanny's in town, so we had enchiladas and then during the weekend, I drove us to Cheyenne where we ate at this steakhouse because I had a gift card from work, so went ahead and used that and walked around a little bit. Um, and it's also just been really, really cool. My mom got me a Kindle, but my wife had the best gift of all. She surprised me with Imagine Dragons tickets for their
Oh,
for their world tour. And we're gonna be going to that here in a couple weeks. So that's gonna be really cool. Looking forward to that. So
well,
thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah, so thank you, beautiful. If you ever listen to this, that was, I think, at some point I should get so shocked where I should cry one of these days for these gifts. But when she did it, I just wasn't expecting it like at all. And so I just like stood there in silence because we had literally talked about it. And I was like, man, those tickets are expensive. And she's like, yeah, they are. So thought we were both on the same page. Like, yeah, maybe next time, they're trying to make their money back from the pandemic and all that stuff. Um, but then when I got that surprise, I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to say.
Dumbfounded.
Yeah,
flabbergasted.
but it was literally like one of the best gifts she's ever gotten me. So, um, my reactions just suck at gifts. When I get gifts, I can't give a good reaction. But yeah, it was pretty good. So it was a good birthday. We're sorry we missed y'all for 2 weeks. Of course, one of the last times y'all heard us, ABG was talking about getting a couple people on the podcast, and that usually always falls through. But if he ever says there's a certain two individuals that we want to get on, just know it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
don't believe me. Don't believe me. Those two people that we're talking about are extremely hard to pin down.
yeah.
So
Um,
they listen. They can't even pin them on their own selves down for their own podcast. So we're just gonna leave
yeah.
it at that.
But it was a pretty good other couple weeks too, because they told us about our yearly raises and stuff at work. So yeah, that's been a pretty good couple weeks as far as work. So I know my stuff at work's been really good the past couple weeks, but I know you've got something devastating that happened. And folks, this might be a short episode because we're gonna talk more about personal stuff today than other stories, but you know what, man, let's go ahead and get into it.
Man, strap yourselves in because this is a little bit of a long story, and it's just an unfortunate sequence of events that happened to me last week when I was in North Carolina for work. So traveling for work
Hey, real
and
quick, was
having
that a Forest City?
say it again.
Was it Forest City or like really upwards in North Carolina near Virginia and stuff?
Oh well, I was actually in Virginia the week of our birthday,
Oh,
and then I was in North Carolina last week.
gotcha.
So okay. Um yeah, no, I was in Greenville, North
Oh,
Carolina.
okay, cool.
Um but yeah, traveling, like having to work and traveling and doing laundry. It's at hotels or at different laundromats or whatever. I mean, you need money to be able to do your laundry, obviously. And so, um, I was at work and I was like, man, I really need to wash some clothes. So when we got off, got dinner and everything, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll go to the ATM in the hotel, get some cash out, get some washing powders, get my clothes washed, and it's gonna be a decent night. Like I'll probably get done at about 10 o'clock or whatever, get to bed, go to work the next day. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. So I go to the hotel ATM and I am trying to get cash out, and the ATM is just not working, not working, not working. I tried it a couple times, it didn't work. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just go to Walmart across the street. Like some I need some stuff from Walmart anyways. Um, so I used their ATM at Walmart, get my stuff, come back to the hotel. And the hotel that we were at was pretty busy because the Little League softball
Mm,
World Series was happening, I think in Greenville. So like there were a lot of people just in that area.
yeah.
Um, and so I had to wait for because people were checking in and stuff. I had to wait for people to get checked in before I could get my washing powders, get my quarters for the washer and dryer. And so I'm waiting in line, it's whatever. I get to the front of the line, and then I'm explaining to the lady that I need some quarters and I need these washing powders. And so I hand her a 10, and then she's like, okay, so your washing powders are 250. Your change is seven. She's like goes into this whole like spiel about my change and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just need quarters. Um, but she's just like, yeah, your change is 750. Here's your 250 back. And she's like, now with this $5, I can make you some quarters, some change in quarters, for the washer and dryer. I was like, yeah, yeah, sure. And then she's like, how much do you need? I'm like, I need $4 in quarters because the washing machine was $2 and the dryer was $2. So she was like, okay. And she was like, I already gave you your 250 back. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she was like, okay, well, here's your dollar. And then she's like, and here's your quarters. And she was like, you did need how much again? I was like, I need $4, ma'am. I just need enough to wash my clothes, wash and dry my clothes. So she's like, okay. And then she hands me my quarters, and then like I like to like count my change, before I walk away. And I don't know what was going through my mind at this moment, but like I counted it out loud. And then all I say is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's stop right there. As you can all tell, if I'm counting quarters and I only count to eight, that's only $2 in
Yeah.
quarters. It's only $2. But my brain somehow was like, yeah, let's run with it. Let's run with it. So I go back up to my room, and then like I'm about to go get my clothes, and like some people travel with like hampers and stuff. Like not me. Like I just take my suitcase down to the laundry and get my stuff done. So I grab my suitcase, and then I'm like looking at my change again. I'm like, why is it so light? And I'm like, this is only $2 in quarters. So I was like, okay, well this sucks. I have to go back down and get my change back. And I was like, I hope she doesn't think like this is me thinking to myself. I'm like, I hope she doesn't think I'm lying. But like, okay, whatever. I'll just go down there with all my change and then we'll figure it out. So I got my suitcase, got my change, and I walk back down there, and it's a whole nother line of people waiting to get checked in. So I'm like, oh. But then like I'm standing next to the counter, and then she's like, um, what's up? You good? Are you checking out? And I was like, oh no, I'm not checking out, but you gave me the wrong amount of change. I was like, you only gave me $2. And then like as soon as I said this, she just kind of like got angry, like visibly like upset. She was just like, no, we went over it. I gave you your 250. I gave you the dollar because your change was 750. I gave you the 250, I gave you the dollar, and with the $4, I gave you quarters. I was like, no, ma'am. So I was like, you only gave me $2 in quarters, like not counting the 50 cents from the 750. I was like, you only gave me $2 in quarters, like I promise, I'm not lying. Um, and she's like, well, I counted it and I'm pretty sure that I gave you $4. Now, what you may have $2 in your hand, I don't know what you did with the other $2. I'm like, yeah, it's not, I didn't do anything with it. Like, trust me, I go to hotels all the time. Like, I'm always washing my clothes and stuff. Like, I'm not out here trying to scam you out of $2 in quarters. Like, what am I gonna do with $4.50 in quarters? Like, I don't need to scam you for quarters, ma'am. And then she's like, well, you're gonna have to wait for me to check in all these people because I'm gonna have to count my drawer. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. Like that's fine. Cause like I wanted that moment, that moment of her saying, oops, my drawer isn't short. It's actually over $2. So here's your $2 in quarters, sir. But so I had to wait for her to check in some more people. And um so she did that, and then I'm still standing there, and then I'm like, so my quarters, and then she's like going over it again, going over the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, I get it, I know what happened. It just wasn't enough. And so then she was like, well, if my drawer's short, I'll just have to pay for it with my own money. Cause I was like, well, I can wait. Like I get it. Like I've counted drawers before. Like I worked um and with the public before, giving money. And then I was like, I've had to count drawers, so like I can wait. And she was like, I don't have time. I don't have time. So so she's like, how much do you need? I'm like, I need $2 in quarters, ma'am. And then she like counts out some change. She's like, here. And she gives it to me, and like it's only $1 in quarters. And I'm like, do you think $1 in quarters is like two quarters, ma'am? Like I don't know what's going on here. And I'm like, I need another dollar. She's like, "Ah, here, gives me another dollar. So I'm like, okay, thank you, ma'am. Like I promise you your drawers are gonna be short. Have a good night. So then I go to the laundry, and I'm like, okay, finally about to wash my clothes. And put my clothes in the washer, and then I realized I left my washing powders in my room. So then I have to go back up to my room, and then I reach for my key in my pocket. I left the key in my room. So then I have to go back down to the counter, wait for her to check in more people. And then she's like, what do you need now? And I'm like, I locked my key in my room. She's like, what room is it? And I'm like, 303. And so she's like, okay, gives me my key. And I'm like, I'm still apologizing. I'm like, I know you probably don't want to see me right now. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, but I didn't even bring up the quarter thing again. She was like, it's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So go back up to my room, get my key or get my wash powers, whatever. Wash my clothes, everything straight, 30 minutes. And then I come back down, take my clothes out the washing machine. And okay, so a little break in the story. Washing machines are usually top load, right?
Yeah.
And then dryers are usually side loads, right?
The hotels,
At
especially.
hotels. Well, take my clothes out of the washing machine, put them in what I think is the dryer, put my quarters in there, press the start button. The clothes, this water just comes on my clothes. And I'm like, it's a side load washing machine that I just put my damn clothes into. So I have to wait another 30 minutes. And then I have to go back to this lady and be like, I accidentally put my clothes in the washer twice. So here's $2 more. I need some more quarters. And then she's like, okay. So she gives me $2 more in quarters. Then my clothes, another 30 minutes, finally get done washing for the second time. Then I put them in the dryer, and that was my night. That took about 3.5 hours to wash and dry one load of clothes, and I didn't even wash my work pants.
Dang, bro.
I left it in my room.
Dude, I hate it.
Like,
I hate it when you have those types of days. And then the woman probably definitely thought you totally was an idiot because you kept having to come back.
yes, and like that, that didn't do anything to help her suspicions that I wasn't trying to scam her out of $2, or I couldn't count myself because like I had to come back to get my key. I had to come back to get $2 more because
Because you put it in the washer
I
again.
put my like it was bad. It was really bad. Um, but I got through it. I made it through it through a week in North Carolina. So that was
Dang,
just that was
bro.
that was probably the worst washing experience I've ever had in my life.
I wouldn't have done laundry again for like another 2 weeks. I've been like, Tiff, you got to do it whenever I got back home because I can't look at a washing machine right now. I'll
Yeah,
punch it.
I'm pretty I was pretty upset.
Man, that was pretty good. Um, dang, man. Oh, I tell y'all what, if you are watching this, we didn't comment on it earlier, but Arthur's haircut looks really clean. It looks
Ooh,
really good, man.
sheesh, sheesh. Okay, and also, so you know how one of my New Year's resolutions was to get more haircuts.
Yeah.
So I'd like never like I'm always like between haircuts. This is probably the second haircut I've got this year.
Mm.
So I'm like, whenever you see me without a hat, that means I got a haircut. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the past few months of doing the show, I've always been wearing a hat. So my birthday was coming up. I had to get a haircut. I was like, man, can't be looking like a bum. And plus, I'm going out on the job by myself. So like, gotta look presentable.
Dang.
So
We used to
well,
both
thank
wear
you.
hats all the time on the show. But I try to keep my head all fresh and clean most of the time now, so I feel like I sweat more when I'm bald and I'm wearing a hat. Is that weird? I don't know. Like I
I
feel like
don't
if
know.
if I wear a hat, it makes me sweat a little more when my head is bald.
So like, when you're between shaves and like your hair's
Yeah.
growing in a little bit, you sweat less.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I sweat less and I feel like I can wear a hat for a longer period of time. Because I don't
Hmm.
like wearing a hat when I'm all sweaty.
Oh yeah, especially if it's a hat that I like. I don't
Yeah,
like sweating in a hat. But like if I'm working out, I'll like use. I got hats that I sweat in all the time, so like I'll wear one of those.
yeah,
But like,
man. Um, well, folks, like I said, we don't have much today, but we do have a couple more things. One of the things, this show and myself, we wished ABG a happy birthday a couple weeks ago on Facebook. Um, and what we did was we shared uh on the show. So, um, something that I saw from that clip was you said you were going to give it your all in fantasy football. That's what you had said in that clip from last year. And then in the comments, I had posted a screenshot because his record did not, uh, you know, condone that he was giving it his all last season, or he was giving it his all, and it was just kind of sad. Uh,
oh my god, bro, Jesus Christ!
um, and it's hey, look, man, it's not a knock. It's not a knock, but I will say
This sounds like
that
a knock.
in in this look in he wasn't last. He was not last place. Okay, Brandon Brame was, but in that clip you said, "Be ready, I'm coming," and then your final record for the season was 3-10 in 11th place out of a 12-man league. So, um, I just want to know what your predictions are this year before the season starts. Like, are you actually coming this year?
You know, we're playing it. We're playing it by ear. This time, this season, we're kind of not phoning it in, but we're coming in with pretty low expectations this season. You know, like I think my team name is um just is what is my team name? American football players
I
or something
mean,
like that. Just
everybody's
to
name always changes after the draft, once you get a player and you try to come up with one of those puns or something.
oh no, my team name isn't gonna change.
Yeah. Well, yours is American football players, but I thought it might
Yes.
change
No, it's not
because
gonna change. Is I wanted to do collection of American football players, but
uh
it's too long of a name.
because the league name is already kind of out there this year,
Yeah.
but I figured I would probably change it, especially now that Deshaun Watson has a settlement or he has a suspension, um, which was a settlement with the NFL. Do you think I knew 6 games was way too low, like when they first said it?
Hell yeah,
Uh,
it was too low.
like Roger Goodell, who's usually quiet, came out and said this
He
man's
needs
behavior was egregious and predatory.
yeah, he needs to be released.
Man, that's something. I mean, we could talk about that all day, but the fact that he finally at least got 11 is something. I thought if Calvin Ridley got a whole year just for putting like $1,800 down on a gambling app, you know, Deshaun Watson for, having 20 plus women come out against him, you'd think that one would at least be indefinite too for a year and then it could
Yeah.
be reviewed, but I don't know, man. The league's got a sexual harassment problem, it seems, when it comes to getting people suspended and all.
Oh yeah. A lot of sports have abuse problems. But like you said, that may be another story for another time.
If yeah, if there was like actual videos and stuff, more text that came out from courts if they didn't settle, he probably would have gotten a longer suspension because basically they gave Ray Rice a suspension, and then when the video came out of him actually like beating his fiance out cold in that elevator, they increased it. So they only care when, the public actually cares more about it. But I mean, oh well, it's the NFL. Um, yeah. I mean, look, folks, we'll probably talk about that another day here soon. Because that
But
one will be a big topic if we get into that. Uh,
but no, yeah, I mean I'm ready. I feel like um I want to do some more mock drafts.
yeah,
Um but yeah, man. hopefully.
Yeah,
And I feel like I got a pretty decent picture for my team.
yeah.
And like I use that AI software that people have been using online to create a image. And I gave it like you give it a prompt,
Yeah.
and my prompt was what was it? OJ Simpson if he were actually a murderer.
Oh my god.
It's like this picture, like this AI picture of OJ Simpson in court in
What
like a blue jumpsuit.
what
So
what AI simulator is this?
it's Doll E or something like that.
Is what? Dull.
Doll, it's called Doll E or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a
Uh,
lot of people have been using it lately
hmm,
to make these like outrageous pictures. But like yeah, I wanted a football related but funny picture.
man. Yeah, that one's a good one. Um, yeah, folks, you know what? This
So
is
if
gonna
my
be, huh?
so if my team doesn't end up being one of the best teams rank wise, I want it to at least be a good funny name and a
Yeah.
good picture.
No, I hear you, man. That'll be a good one. I don't know what mine will be just yet. I'll probably find out after the draft. Whenever I get somebody on that team. Um, yeah, folks, this is gonna be a good year for fantasy. Um, yeah, we don't have much else. I will get into some odd news. We're gonna bring that back real quick, and then we'll get y'all ready to go. For this quick unheard of show this week. Um, three quick stories, and I'm only gonna give the headlines and reactions. There is a restaurant in the UK that is no longer catering to vegans because they have a holier than thou attitude. Uh, um, which I don't know. I don't know many vegans, but apparently this restaurant thinks that y'all have a holier than thou attitude and they don't want to serve y'all no more.
I
So,
mean, listen, in my travels, I've met a few vegans, and like some of them, they don't make it their whole personality, but some people they do, and they like only talk about how unhealthy the foods are that people eat, and then like how much it's harming animals, and like they do have that holier than thou, like, oh, I'm better than you because I
yeah,
only eat plants.
dang. Um, man. The second one we have is also based out of the UK. A teen car thief was caught hiding in one of those giant stuffed teddy bears. That's how they were caught. Uh, uh, dang, I love those
But you
things too.
think like was the teddy bear inside of the car that they stole, or like did they like steal the car, go get a teddy bear to hide in it?
Yeah, they apparently they went to his residence and inside the home he was just sitting in that big stuffed teddy bear.
Oh my God. Like, and then how do the police know to look? Like, do you think like in like
They probably heard him breathing or
I
moving.
was about to say like do you think it's like in like those cartoons where people are hiding in something and then like they just like give like a little sneeze or
Yeah,
something and they're like, "Huh, what's that?"
God. And then y'all are gonna love this one. The last one for the week, right? The odd news. And it starts with Florida, so you already know this one's gonna be good. Florida woman
Oh,
is
Florida woman.
arrested. Yeah, not Florida man, Florida
Not Florida
woman.
man. Okay.
Florida woman is arrested for hurling an uncooked steak at her boyfriend of 20 years.
Mm. That had
Uh,
to have been a real argument for her to for her to just toss a steak at him, man. Like he
man.
probably asked her to cook.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I mean, look, there's not a lot that we had for y'all this week, but we knew we had to put something out there for all of our faithful. But you know, it was a quick one, but it's a good one. We had an excellent top tier story by ABG. I mean, that takes the cake. That's good enough for its own short episode. We should start doing bits where we release like 20-minute episodes, just us telling stories. Uh, um,
Yeah, like I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like I feel like not a lot of eventful things happen in my life that need to be shared. But like once I was in the story of this, like once it was
yeah,
happening, I was like, this will make a good story for the show. So like
yeah.
I just went with it.
Call it a unheard of story time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, folks. We hope you enjoyed the small one. Without further ado, I'm gonna give y'all some closing thoughts. Closing thoughts for the week is if you got student loans, hold on to your purses. Nobody knows what's gonna happen for y'all in these next coming weeks. Uh, the the payments are set to resume. Not really much going on in that administration talking about student loan forgiveness, so I'm holding out hope for all of y'all. Keep your heads up because something should be coming, but you never know. They keep pushing it back. Uh, but yeah, have a excellent week, and you can find me on Twitter at Jared Evans, and we should be back with another good one for y'all next week.
Closing thoughts for myself. Man, I don't know. It's been a couple weeks, man. Thank you guys for coming back and listening and being patient with us. And also, if you are getting change for something that you need change for, maybe just count it out. Make sure, double check it because I definitely should have double checked it. But yeah, thank you guys. You can find me on Twitter at young without the O underscore ABG. You can find us on Twitter at unheard underscore of pod. That's going to be the same on Instagram, unheard underscore of pod. Facebook, unheard of. You can find us. YouTube, we have links, and you can listen to the show on Spotify. So, yeah,
That's right.
thanks
Um,
everybody.
yeah, folks. Um, so we're gonna try a little better, but most of it's been on me recently to get a new one for y'all here next week. So we hope you enjoyed this quick episode with us here today. And as always, we love you, we hear you, and we hope you hear us here at Unheard of.
Unheard of.